Welcome back. Well, we are up to nine of President Trump's cabinet nominees now in place after Christopher Wright was confirmed last night as Energy Secretary in a vote of 59 to 38. The Senate Finance Committee will vote on Health and Human Services nominee Robert F. Kennedy Jr. today, while the Senate Intelligence Committee will also vote on DNI pick Tulsi Gabbard. She picked up a key endorsement from moderate Republican Senator Susan Collins yesterday. Elsewhere in Washington, Secretary of State Marco Rubio becoming the acting director of the U.S. Agency for International Development as the Trump administration moves to shut down the U.S. aid agency entirely. Yesterday, employees were reportedly locked out of the office. Democrat Hawaii Senator Brian Schatz said that he will place a blanket hold on all of Trump's State Department nominees until he backs off of his push to shut down USAID. This hold could impact Elise Stefanik, Trump's pick for U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Joining me now is Pennsylvania Senator David McCormick. Senator, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Good morning, Maria.
What's going on with your colleagues on the left with all these games to obstruct? Now they want to shut down everything in terms of further picks for the State Department until President Trump changes his mind on USAID.
Well, first, I mean, these last 2 weeks have been incredible. I was in Pennsylvania over the weekend. I did a number of visits. People cannot believe the amount of energy, the productive, the success that's happening under 2 weeks of President Trump. And there's a lot of optimism for this bold leadership, and he's really living up to his promises. One of the things he said was that we need to stop investing in things around the world that don't make sense. And, you know, foreign assistance in pursuit of our national security can be a good idea, but what we've clearly happened here, we've lost our way. DEI initiatives in Serbia, LGBTQ in Guatemala, supporting Hamas with huge investments of U.S. taxpayer dollars. So President Trump, through Secretary Rubio, is trying to get his hands around these things, and he absolutely has to. We've got to make sure taxpayer dollars aren't going to these crazy things. And frankly, the Democrats have been obstructing and trying to delay President Trump getting his team in place, and we as Republicans need to fight hard. President Trump needs his team, and he needs it now to continue this great turnaround of America.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations to you, Senator. I know you're digging in. It's great to see you here pursuing your priorities. But I guess I want to get some color on these Senate confirmation hearings, because I know we're up to 9, but the president needs his team in place. Are, in fact, your colleagues on the left obstructing this process, even though they're in the minority? Yeah,
no doubt about it. They are dragging it out. And the way I think about it is, listen, President Trump won this enormous historic victory, and he promised change. And he's picked and nominated a set of candidates to be nominees to be his team that's going to shake things up in Washington. We need to lean into that and support him in trying to do that. And what's happening is the Democrats are trying to drag this out. We've had 9 confirmed. We'll have 13 by the end of the week. And we need to keep pushing to get, and listen, these are not going to be establishment status quo figures. Yeah. We need people who are going to bring change to Washington. That's what the president has done with his nominees.
Yeah, I want to get back to the cabinet in a second, but let me ask you about this hearing, because the Senate Banking Committee will hold a hearing tomorrow on financial institutions debanking clients over various regulatory concerns. Founder and executive chairman of Black Rifle Coffee Company, Evan Hafer, one of several witnesses set to testify. You're on the Senate Banking Committee, and I want to understand who and where is the debanking underway. I actually spoke with the First Lady, Melania Trump, during the campaign, and Melania told me she herself was debanked. Watch this.
But later on, more when we left the White House, when I established my own business, as you said, the bank suddenly informed me they will not be able to do business with me anymore. Also, I had very prominent email distribution service provider just abruptly terminated my agreement. So suddenly, as well as the university. I was all agreed that they will accept my donations for the foster students, and because of the board directors, they called back, they found out that it was me, they didn't, they said we cannot go on. And it's very, very sad, because who suffered? They were children from foster community.
So what about that, Senator? I mean, after President Trump called out Brian Moynihan in Davos saying you better not debank conservatives, both Bank of America and J.P. Morgan came out swinging, saying we don't do that. We don't debank anybody because of their politics. Tell us the facts. Are major banks debanking conservatives?
Well, listen, this is un-American. It's un-American to discriminate or persecute based on political views, whether it's in our education institutions or financial services. The hearing is designed to get to the bottom of exactly what is happening. What are the facts? It's unacceptable. We're going to understand the lay of the land in terms of conservatives being persecuted based on their political beliefs in financial services. And to the extent that that's happening, and it's clear from my campaign trail that people think it is happening in Pennsylvania, then we need to act. And that's what the banking committee will do. But we got to get the facts first. And that's what this hearing is all about.
All right, well, we'll be watching that closely. Let me get your take on tariffs, sir, because you were a businessman. You understand the global story. But China has been undermining the United States for decades, and now it claims to be hitting back with these retaliatory tariffs beginning February 10th after President Trump's 10% import tariff on Beijing went into effect at midnight. Trump's tariff threats led to deals with both Canada and Mexico after he agreed to put a pause on the 25% tariffs for 30 days. Both nations' leaders agreed to help at the border. Your reaction?
Well, listen, this is a game of chess, and we have a master chess player in President Trump. On the campaign trail, and President Trump and I campaigned on this, stopping the flow of fentanyl from Mexico, from China into Mexico, from Canada. And these tariffs are designed to stop that day one. A number of other things, but that's the primary goal of this first round. And we have to stop. We've lost 100,000 Americans, 4,000 Pennsylvanians last year. I saw fentanyl parents this weekend, and I support this 100%, as well as all the other actions. And it appears like it's working in terms of getting Canada, Mexico, other countries around the world to make sure that they're prioritizing America's interest. We got to stop the flow of fentanyl, and I think we'll have to see how this plays out. But I've got a lot of confidence President Trump is managing this well and making sure that American interests are being protected.
Is there any other way to push back on communist China for all of its bad behavior undermining the United States, or is it just tariffs?
Well, tariffs is one way. But listen, China has access to a lot of things in the global supply chain that it's using to counter U.S. interests. So I think we need to think about our export controls, our sanctions. We need to make sure that China's pulling its weight in organizations around the world. And if it's not, withdrawing American support. There's a number of things we can do, including blockading fentanyl ingredients coming into our country. There's a whole bunch of tools, but the tariff tool, which President Trump is using, is a good one, and he's using it well.
Senator, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for weighing in on all of that.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you soon. Dave McCormick on Capitol Hill.